Aloha, friends from all around the world and all around the cosmic and wonderful dimensional spaces of time and earth and space and cosmic areas. Welcome to this little corner of our galaxy here in physical space of Greensboro, North Carolina, United States of America. I hope you're having a beautiful spring day. It's wonderful, bright and sunny here in North Carolina. So I hope you're having a pleasurable day today. So thank you for being here and joining us this wonderful Sundays at 11:11. Have a great topic. Of course, I think all our topics are great. And today we'll be speaking and discussing about Dreamwork. Okay? And let's just get right into it. Okay. All right, so we are Sundays at 11:11. So Cosmic Shaman and Aloha Consciousness. It is May 3rd, 2026. Can you believe it is May? Goodness, this time is flying by like we thought it would. You know, February always goes by fast, and so does March and April. Next thing we're in May, and then before we know it, will be July. Okay, but isn't it wonderful that we're living aloha consciousness in every one of those moments? Okay? And so it's Dreamwork today. I'm Stacy. I'll be your host today. I'm one of the co-abbots of EarthStar Spiritual Center. And we are EarthStar Spiritual Center. Been doing this since 2002 with Jeanne, my wife, or me as her husband. Okay. And we are a multi-faith church for living aloha. And you see off to the left there, you see our core values and principles, and that's aloha, the acronym. So it's all loving God, love, oneness, heart path, and as above, so below. And you see the diamond there to the left center, and the diamond represents our wholeness. So the wholeness is where we are. We've always been there. We are there now. We will be there forever. So the wholeness is inclusive of everyone, everything, and all of time. God and all of us. We're all there in this beautiful diamond, expressing life and all the individual facets through many, many, many lifetimes for all of eternity. Okay. And our core focus also is planetary awareness to galactic consciousness. And remember, this is a live chat, so you can ask questions, share your experiences. You can type in and let me know you're here. And then also make sure you click like and share. And that way we can spread this wonderful energy, aloha consciousness throughout the world to all your friends and family. Okay. Thank you. And make sure you sign up to our EarthStar YouTube channel. That way, if we think we have something bright to say, we'll post something and it'll automatically come through your notifications. Okay. All right. So Sundays at 11:11. These are some of the topics that we cover at our Sundays at 11:11, and also some of these shamanic areas. If you need personal help throughout the week, then we certainly can schedule a personal coaching session, shamanic session, or a synergy healing session. And so I've got all that contact info in the show notes. Okay. And these are some of the books we've written. So 7 books so far. And these are all available on Amazon. And also they are located in the links are located in the show notes, the show comments. Okay. And this will help you along your shamanic journey, everything from earthly shamanism up to cosmic shamanism. Okay. Wherever you are on your beautiful shamanic path. And also you see in the upper left corner, you see EarthStar Publishing. So if any of you are aspiring authors and you have a book you want desperately to get published, especially on Amazon with Kindle, that's who we use. And so we can help with that process. I've got the links in the show notes, or just go to the website and look up the EarthStar Publishing, and it'll give you all the information on how we can help you with that venture. Okay? And then our music ministry. Okay, this started in March, actually started March 28th, 2026. And so far we're up to 7 productions. Last week we released Goddess of the Heart. So that was song number 7. Our goal for our EarthStar music ministry is that for the remainder of 2026, we want to write and produce a song at least once a week. And we'll post that song with a little video on YouTube. And that way you can hear the song, and it'll be available on all your streaming platforms. I know we have at least 24 streaming platforms that the songs are available all over the world. And thank you for your support with that. And we'll also release one tomorrow, and that'll get us back to our country western roots as we try to be multi-genre with our music also, just like our multi-faith with EarthStar. And then speaking about Earth superpowers and your cosmic destiny. Now, who are you? Why are you here? And how are you serving humanity and Mother Earth? Now, we will have a physical class in a few weeks, couple of weeks, May 17th, be on a Sunday, 1 to 5. So it's a 1:11 for the class. And if you've already had the class, you've successfully completed it, but you'd like to come in and do a review or maybe enhance your Earth superpowers, then that's what the $50 price is. And so once you register and contact us, I'll let you know the location. So remember, we want to know what our Earth superpowers are, because that's who we are and why we came to Earth, or wherever we are in the universe, the multiverse. So we want to make sure that you're using and serving with your Earth superpowers 100% of the day, because otherwise, how are we serving and what are we doing? So just keep that in mind. Yeah. And then one of the organizations that we are connected with, and that's Connecting Consciousness with Simon Parks and his wife, Becky. They currently reside in England. This is a worldwide organization in over 100 countries and over 100,000 members. Now, it's free to join, and I have the Connecting Consciousness link in the show notes. So just click on that, join, and that way maybe you'll be inspired to submit a humanitarian project. Remember, we're on the verge, or we're actually activating this beautiful golden age for America and the world. These funds will be available for various humanitarian projects. So decide how you would like to serve. What kind of project do you want to create? Or would you like to join someone else who has a humanitarian project? And this is using your Earth superpowers. Well, that's why I want to make sure you know what they are, so that you can use these powers every single day. Now, we do have a bid in for a humanitarian project with Connecting Consciousness. They are one of the organizations that will manage the funds, the finances, and of course, there'll be many other organizations also. This happens to be the one that connected with us back in the early 2020s. Okay? So give that a try. And remember our SHAC principles. Being a shaman of A.L.O.H.A, we want to make sure we try to use our SHAC principles. We want to give and receive these principles every day in some way. And that's smiles, hugs, acts of kindness, compliments, and kisses. So not only do we want to give these to other people, but we want to allow ourselves to receive this from other people, and also from animals too. Because, those pets, they really love us, and they give us several kisses throughout the day. Okay. So make sure you follow and use your SHAC principles every single day. Imagine if all the people that hear this broadcast and all the members, over 500 members on Simply Shaman, should they use this, we're looking at the millions of acts of A.L.O.H.A that collectively we can do every single year. Okay, so remember our SHAC principles as a shaman of A.L.O.H.A. Okay, so our discussion today, our focus today for our Sundays at 11:11, our objectives it's going to be about dream work. And our two objectives for today with our time is going to be to define dreams and dream work. And then the second is to discuss dream work perspectives. Okay, all right, let's jump right into that. Okay. So defining dreams and dream work. Now, these are the 3D Earth perspectives that you may find in any dictionary, or should you do some sort of Google search and just say define dreams or dream work, this may be what comes up from a 3D standpoint. So let's look at this so defining dreams. So images, emotions, and thoughts that occur involuntarily in the mind during sleep. Now, I have underlined the word involuntarily. Nothing that happens to us is involuntary. There is structure, there is unity with everything that we think, say, do, and sense. The universe, the multiverse, our diamond wholeness is all created with structure and all created with this wonderful unity. Just because we don't pay attention to our heartbeats, But, that's not an involuntary action. It's still happening in the background. So it's the same thing with our dreams. When we have our dreams at night, this is very voluntary because it is our subconscious working. And we'll talk about that more in a moment. So that's why involuntarily, that would be a 3D definition, okay? To make us think that our dreams are of very little value. They're just random. And we know they're not. Okay. All right. And then dream work. This could be night dreams, like we just discussed. It could be your daydreaming, your visualizing or visualizations, and also on reworking dreams. And that would be a shamanic technique that we'll discuss in a moment. Okay. So that's the 3D perspectives of defining dreams and dream work. Okay. So that's objective number 1. Okay. Now let's move to objective number 2. Dream work perspectives. Now, when we think about night dreams, which normally when people think about dreaming, they refer to dreams they have at night while they're sleeping. The night dreams are a result of our subconscious working. Remember when we just discussed involuntary motions or actions within the body, our heart beats. That's not an involuntary action. It beats. It's just we're just not aware of that. So same thing with our night dreams. Our subconscious is on. It's turned on since you were born. Matter of fact, it's turned on before that because your soul or your higher self, spirit consciousness and subconscious. So it's on 24/7, 365. Just because we're not aware of it consciously, it doesn't mean it's not working and it's not being active, because it's always active because it's part of who you are. It's part of who we are. Our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our superconscious mind, or in other words, our cosmic consciousness, it's always on 24/7, 365 for all of eternity. This is how things are made and structured and built so that we have this concept of unity of mind, body, and spirit. So when we think about the subconscious mind, I want you to relate that to being the inner child. So the subconscious mind only wants to play. Just like a child, only wants to play. Think about anything from a 4 to 7-year-old child, just wants to play and has this wonderful open relationship with the world. So subconscious, the reason why we're not conscious of it sometimes and we still can use this energy, that's how hypnosis works. Somebody may see a license tag, but they can't recall what the license tag number is. Well, under hypnosis, they can recall that because the subconscious has already recorded that. And through hypnosis, we can bring that out. So the subconscious records everything. When we think about these server farms or things that we save into the cloud, they are nothing compared to the amount of information that our subconscious can hold, because it records every thought, every word, every action, every sense. Every taste, smell, everything that you're thinking about doing and want to do. Okay, it records every single thing, and we can recall those things if we simply go into a moment or some time with meditation to bring that up. But what happens is during nighttime, the subconscious comes alive and it has like this open, it's like the movie theater is closed down when we go to sleep, but the subconscious is alive and it gets to use this movie theater. It can play any movie, any music, anything that it's working on, or maybe it needs clarification. So that's why it gives us these dreams, because we've only taught it to do or to have a particular way of thinking or being. So our subconscious wants to learn something. It wants to learn how to bring this thought or this act of being into a happy conclusion. Because remember, it's a child. It just wants to play. So our subconscious gives us these little hints in our dreams at night. And a lot of times people can wake up and write down those dreams, and they have full awareness of what has happened. Now, I know you probably heard a lot of people say, well, they just don't dream. Well, remember, this is not involuntary. Everybody dreams. It's just like you're not aware of your heartbeat, but it still beats. So same thing with your dreams. You're just not remembering them. Everybody dreams. You can't help it. You've closed down the conscious mind in your sleep time, and the subconscious takes over. Okay, so it's happening for everyone. We just want to make sure we can recall that and use it to our shamanic advantage, to understand who we are and what we've programmed our body to do and be. Okay. Now, another perspective are when we have dreams at night, sometimes we have this concept called lucid dreaming. And CNS, it just means that's a combination of your conscious mind and subconscious mind. And this more than likely happens right where you're still in that twilight phase. You're either about to fall asleep, so you're still conscious, but you've opened up the doorway to the subconscious, and also right when you're about to wake up. And this could be during any time of the night, and also when you're going to wake up from the morning, from the night's sleep. You're still in that little that tween space, we call it, right? That fairy space, the between world. So you're awakening your conscious self, but your subconscious, the doorway is still open. And so you have a chance, if you can make sure to train your conscious mind and not just jump out of bed, but to spend some time to focus on that dream that you're in the middle of and begin to steer that dream in a conscious way and to find out where your subconscious wants to go with this. Because if you'll just let the imagination roll, it will come to a happy conclusion. Okay? Even if you're falling off a cliff and you slam onto the earth, well, if you're gonna physically die, you're gonna die and go to heaven. So that's gonna be a good conclusion for this little 5-year-old child inside of you. Okay. All right. So that's night dreams and lucid dreaming. And those are very fun to work with if you can train your mind and your conscious sense to be aware of that. Now, daydreams. These, of course, are dreams, but these are just, we call them dreams still, but it's just the amount of time we spend in them. Usually daydreams don't last that very long because we're up and about doing our work or doing some sort of task. So, and we certainly don't want to daydream while we're driving. Okay? So this is consciously using our imagination. So we have a daydream, we have a concept we want to think about, we want to establish some sort of spiritual blueprint or an initial planning, because this is how we manifest things on earth. We make things happen. We provide some sort of structure for our energy to use and to take place, to lay this foundation. So with daydreams, we can usually do that very quickly. We can move through the various qualities, the objectives of the dreams we have. We can play with it. We notice what makes us happy, what makes this dream efficient and effective, and we use our imagination with that. So same thing that we can use with our subconscious mind. Okay? Now, visualizing, same thing. It's still somewhat of a daydream. It's just the amount of time we spend with it. So visualizing, visualization, that's also our conscious imagination. So it's really the same tools we're using, either daydreams or visualizing. My goodness, get my lips to work here. Visualizing. Yes, that's it. So daydreams and the V word there, it's the same thing. It's just some people, it depends on the audience you're speaking with. Some folks want to say meditating, praying, daydreaming, using our visual sense, our within sense, imagination. So same thing, we're using the conscious mind to create this inner world, this inner vision. And again, that is the beginning of manifestation. That's a spiritual blueprint for what we want to happen in our 3D world. Okay? And then reworking dreams, another perspective. Now, this is when we get into the shamanic sense of reworking our dreams. We wake up and we're using our conscious mind to influence the subconscious mind, because remember, the subconscious mind is the child. So it remembers everything the conscious mind, being the adult, tells it to remember. And we don't have to tell it specifically to remember, it will record it. Okay, and it'll be there forever. As long as your body is alive here on earth, it will record it for all of this time. Okay? So the adult, the conscious mind, is going to work with the child, the subconscious mind. And let's say we have a dream, but we woke up and the dream didn't finish. We can still remember the dream. Matter of fact, we may have, as we woke up, we wrote down what the dream was about to give us some notes. And then in our meditation, healing, and prayer time, we remember all the aspects of the dream, but we noticed that it stopped. So it didn't come to a happy conclusion. This is where, using a shamanic technique, we can go back into that dream using our conscious mind and then allow the subconscious to just roll, to just go with it. And just notice where it goes. Don't try to direct it in any way, because we want to know what the subconscious mind was thinking at the time. And then once it gets to a point, we can start to include some lucid dreaming in a conscious way. And then we can drive that dream to a happy conclusion. But more than likely, every time that I've used this, the subconscious mind will take it to a happy conclusion. And that way you can learn from this, learn what your subconscious mind is thinking and how it's being. And that way, if you want to reprogram it in any way, you just give it another pattern of thought or energy to reprogram how it survives and how it lives within you. Okay? So that's how we rework a dream. All the characters we can rework. When we're shamanically, when we do this, let's say we have a child that has nightmares, and we want to go in and rework that dream. Well, then during a shamanic life coaching session, then I would simply replace the characters in that child's dream. I would tell them to use a cartoon character, something they're familiar with. That way, as they work through their dream, which they deem to be a nightmare, they can work through that in a conscious sense using cartoon characters. And that way it will give them it'll give them a happier response to dealing with their dreams, and then allowing them to bring that dream, what so-called nightmare, into a wonderful dream, as we have a very effective conclusion with that. Okay, so you can rework all your dreams, and when you're working with dreams, you may want to keep a notepad by the bed on your nightstand, so that when you awaken in the middle of the night for some reason, but you remember a dream you were in, well, just jot down a few notes, maybe some key words, and these words will be the gateway to help you to remember that dream. And sometimes we have a dream and we just can't seem to remember it. And then lo and behold, throughout the day, that dream just pops into our consciousness. Well, the reason why this happens is, remember, the subconscious, it monitors and records everything in your body. And that includes all the body positions you're in throughout the night. So if your body was in a particular position, your subconscious remembers what that is. So what happens during the day, when your body moves into a certain spot or it hits a certain way that you move, it will recall, it'll be a gateway to that memory. And that's why that dream that you had forgotten, it bounces right back into your conscious mind and you can recall it. So that's another way you can work with your dreams. And then go ahead and make some notes about that, so that later on in your meditation prayer time, you can work on that dream in a conscious sense, and then do your shamanic technique of reworking the dream to bridge the conscious and subconscious mind to come to a happy ending. Because remember, the subconscious mind is that 4 to 7 year old child that's within all of us, our inner child. Okay? All right, so that's looking at dream work perspectives from more of a shamanic dimensional sense, and hope that you're able to work with that in some way. Now let's go to the next vision. I want to provide you with the acronym to help you with your dream work as you do your shamanic work. So dream, DREAM. So the first one is discern. So when we discern our dream, our conscious, subconscious dreams, we can use the 6 aspects of good investigative reporting, police reporting, or anyone who uses has to write some type of report or give some sort of analysis. These are the 6 aspects that you want to cover, so that you have a complete analysis. And that is the who, what, when, where, how, and why. So as you discern your dream, you want to make sure that you cover who was involved, what were you doing, or what were people doing, when did it happen, where did it happen, how did it happen, why did it happen. And remember, everything about a dream, it is all about you. Your subconscious is trying to give you a story about you, about how it has been programmed. So it is all about you, even though there may be different people in your dream. They are simply representations of you, an aspect of you. Because remember, all of us live in wholeness. We live in this beautiful diamond of wholeness, right? We're there for all of eternity. So we're all connected, God and all of us, right? God is us and we are God. So all of us are connected. All of us are united and unified. It's just that in 3D here, when we live in this world of duality, we sometimes forget that. Okay? So remember, everyone that is in your dream is a perspective of you. And they're probably going to be friends and acquaintances. So you know what their energy is. And you know, when you think about that friend, what are some key words that come to mind when you think about their characteristics, their traits, right? So that's who you want to think about you at that particular time. And then the what are you doing? And make sure when you discern the what, you go all around that. You know, it's almost like you've got a 360-degree camera and you're looking at it above, below, within, without, and all around. So that's how we discern to that way we can gather that important information. And then, of course, when is it happening? Is this something that happened in the past? Is it something that's going to happen in the future, almost like a premonition? Because maybe something is coming up and your subconscious knows that based on the patterns, you know, based on the patterns of what you have told it to know. It will kind of tabulate that and maybe perhaps give you some sort of premonition that based on the patterns of who you are and what you do and what you've taught me, this is what may happen in the future. And maybe that's what it's trying to work out, trying to give you some sort of indication, some sort of premonition. And then that way you can discern as to the whys and all the reason of why this has occurred and why this has been brought to your conscious mind. Okay? All right, so that's discern. All right, R, remember. So remember the details. Write those down. Like I mentioned earlier, keep a dream log right on the nightstand so that when you awake, you come awake every night for some reason, make sure you write down any thoughts, any key words. That would be like a key to unlock that memory so you can go back right back into that dream later on when you're conscious. Because that, and remember that when you have those body movements during the day. So when you remember that dream, then again, think about the details and remember all the details as much as you can and try to write that down. Because remember that writing things down, that gives it a grounding sense, a centering sense. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to keep things up in the dream world. Those are merely a place for us to establish some sort of spiritual blueprint. We want to give it a grounding, a centering. And we can bring that into 3D so that we can truly begin our actions to create and to manifest. Okay? So remember then is the second one. Okay, E, evaluate possible meanings. So again, this could be the why part up in discern. So evaluate all the meanings, evaluate the people included in your dream, because remember, they're you, they're aspects of you. So evaluate who they are, how they're acting. Okay? How are they standing? How are they speaking? What kind of clothes do they have on? What type of food are they eating? What are they drinking? Evaluate every single incident or every single piece of information that you can garner from that memory, from that dream. And then you want to evaluate, well, what does that really mean? What does the watermelon mean? What does that strawberry mean? You look at the shape. When I see the strawberry, does that mean, it's called heartberries in some of our native cultures, especially our Canadian cultures, they call those heartberries, right? Because when you look at a strawberry, it really does look like a heart. It's got lots of freckles on it, right? So evaluate every single meaning of everything that's in your dream. All the people, all the places, all the things, because they mean something. This is a message from your subconscious to get more information on how it can be programmed in a different way. Okay? All right, so E, evaluate. All right, A, act. We want to act physically to enliven the dream. So when we're planning this dream or planning any thought, remember we're using our imagination, we're using a visualization, we're using daydreaming. That's where we kind of loosely put something together in the spiritual world. We're doing a spiritual blueprint. But to make it real here in 3D, that's when we want to act. That's when we start gathering our materials. That's when we start putting sweat equity in what we want to do, because now we're beginning to build this concept into 3D. So when you have a dream and you discerned it, you've remembered it, you've acted or you've evaluated, now you can act to physically, perhaps let's say you had a dream to go to a location. Well, hop in the car, go to that location. Notice what comes up. Okay. Or maybe you had a dream to go and talk to someone or meet someone, one of your friends. Yes. Then do that. Give them a call, text, send a card, email, do a live chat, video chat, or even better, go there and talk to them, give them a hug, touch them, be around them. Okay? So physically do some sort of action to ground and center that dream, that conscious and subconscious thought into 3D reality here on earth. Because that way we can make things happen even better. And now, in order to do all that, whether we discern, we remember, we evaluate, and act, the biggest thing is that we make the changes. We rework the dream for a happy conclusion. We reprogram the mind, the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. We reprogram our heart to allow it to be more loving, above, below, within, without, and all around. Okay? So make the changes. Those are very important. Sometimes changes are not going to happen as fast as we would like. Remember that the fire people, air people, we can change very quickly. We have those skills. Remember, water people, you're going to marinate it in a little because you have to throw in all the emotional energy in that to kind of evaluate it, to sense it, to wrap all around it, and just marinate and sense with it. And then earth folks, y'all are going to have to sit with it for a while. And to you, the rest of us think that from your perspective, we think it takes a very long time, but for you, it may just be a short time for you. So use your astrological senses also to help you to make changes. Know how easy it is for you to make change and to create change. Okay? So make the change, do the work that's going to be responsible for making all this happen. So that way we can enliven our dream. And that way we can use our shamanic essence to create this beautiful reality. And that way, it's almost like having when we use our dreams, it's almost like having an online business account, where you're selling things. When you have an online account, you're able to sell things 24/7 all over the world and all the time zones because you have that tool. Well, use your dreams in that same way. Your subconscious is alive and working all night long, every time you're sleeping. So use that subconscious to help you to have a more fulfilled and loving shamanic life, to bring about that aloha consciousness and who you are, what you do, and to help to create and tweak your earth superpowers so they can use it in that sense. And that way also you can help other people to discern their dreams, because I know there's many books out there about what dreams mean, what all the animals and what all the people, all the circumstances may mean. So use those also for a reference, but also just rely on your subconscious, your conscious mind, and allow yourselves to determine, to discern, to remember, evaluate, act, and make. Okay, so dream. Good. Outstanding work, wonderful, fantastic, and fabulous. Thank you for joining us for that lesson. So let's do our review. So we know that in 3D, when we define dreams and dream work, we know that the dictionary view will be that this is involuntary, but we know that that is not true because everything is voluntary within our essence. Our life is full of structure and unity. All of eternity is structure and unity. Remember, structure is the male portion of who we are. And then the flow, the creation part, is the feminine part of who we are. If you remember the discussion from last week, we talked about the divine or feminine divine and feminine masculine with Nicole. So look at that video from last Sunday. Okay? And dream work, we know that dream work is we're doing our visualizations, our imaginations, lucid dreaming, also any type of daydreaming we do. And then also working with our dreams and to rework our dreams. That would be the definition of dream work. And as a shaman, you can do this. You can harness that energy, harness those protocols, and learn how to do dream work. And if you'd like more structure on that, it's in several of our books. And also, if you'd like to just come by and make an appointment, and we can discuss that with a session and show you how to do that in person. Okay. And also discussing our dream work perspectives. Remember, let me go back to the slide earlier just so you can see our little acronym. So remember to discern, remember, evaluate, act, and make changes. Okay? So thank you for being here for that review. Thank you for being here today for the dream work. All right, so now let's move into our healing and prayer and meditation time. And today, as we go into it, I want to help you not to be so multitasking in your meditation time. So if you will, I'll give you another focus. We want to focus just on one thing, okay, as we go through. And then that way, let me give you a banner to go across here to be healed. So as we do our meditation healing time today, I'd like for you to just focus on one thing, okay? Remember, we don't want to, it's like, you know how it is when you get too many Christmas presents. Well, you know, that it just, by the time you get to the number 150th Christmas present, maybe it doesn't have that joy like that very first one did. And that's a lot of energy. So same thing with our creation work. We don't want to try to create everything at one time. You know, when we think about doing this physically, you know, we can't be in the kitchen baking a cake and at the same time we got out tools and we're trying to build a deck, right? I mean, we have to keep our focus on one task. So same thing with our spiritual work, our meditative healing and prayer work. Try to focus on just one thing unless you're extremely adept at being multitasked. And I know you Geminis, Aquariuses, and Libras can do this, but the rest of us have to try to just focus on one thing. So we'll focus on one thing you want to create, one person you want to send that healing energy to, or maybe just one aspect of your own personal healing you want to work on today. All right. Okay, so let me give you some music for this as we get ourselves prepared. Think about the work we did today, Dreamwork. Okay. And here comes our nice little flute music, relaxed. Remember, nothing else to do, nowhere else to be, except you, here, right now, in this time and space. Think about your chakras, rainbow of chakras, the red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, and violet, purple. And just simply in your mind, just say, energize. And imagine those chakras just spinning. Beautiful colors. Think about that little light tube, about the size of a fluorescent tube, connecting the crown to the root. And now imagine each of those chakras exuding their own color into that light tube. And soon that light tube fills up in this beautiful rainbow of colors. And once it can hold no more, it begins to exude out the sides and fills up your aloha bubble. Remember, as wide as your outstretched arms and the fingertips. And about one hand length above the head, one hand length below the body. And just imagine these waving, vibrant words flowing through your aloha bubble. Flowing into every cell, every strand of DNA, every meridian, every atomic and subatomic particle in your mind, body, and spirit. Be the peace. And now as we think about our dream work, we think about the lesson for today, how we can work our dreams, how we can reprogram our subconscious mind to be happy, whole, effective, and efficient. Our conscious mind, knowing that we can do this work. We simply just discern, we remember, we evaluate, we act, and we make changes. We focus on just one thing today. If you're doing healing work, either for someone else or yourself, just focus on that one person or focus on you, that one body part you want to heal. If you're doing a prayer for yourself, Just that one prayer, that one aspect. If you're doing a prayer for someone else, just hold that person's image in your mind and heart. If you want to simply just meditate and just be, just have one thought, one feeling in your mind, body, spirit. Focus on that thought, that feeling. And now allow yourself to just be. And now just keep yourself in this wonderful, peaceful state. Repeating to yourself, I am calm, I am healed, I am loved, I am well. I am calm, I am healed, I am loved, I am well. I am calm, I am healed, I am loved, I am well. Sense your essence all around you. Sense your presence. Sense your mind, body, and spirit. Know that you have the power to create, to manifest, to be healed. You have the power to be anyone and anything you wish to be. Just simply believe it, make changes, and make it happen. Okay? Wonderful. Good. All right, so now just take a nice deep breath. Open your eyes just gently. We'll close out the prayer, meditation, healing time. No, we won't. I've got to give you a prayer, right? So let's do that. Good. And now let's come back. Let's do a group prayer. Using my Merkaba, you can see little glints of light off of it. And, the Merkaba, this is just what I use. But if you have any sort of a talisman or necklace or anything that's totally engulfed in love, then you can use that. Wear that. Use that in your shamanic work. Okay? So our prayer today and for the rest of this week is that as we take a deep breath and give aloha, aloha. Remember that as shamans, as spiritual workers, we want to give first and then we can receive, because that way that sets up the way that things work in the universe. We give and then we receive. Okay? So we ask and we call upon this beautiful aloha consciousness to be in every part of who we are, and our mind, body, and spirit, with every thought, every word, every deed, every action, with everyone, everything, everywhere, in every time, place, and space, and all of our endeavors, home, work, and play, and all of our personal ministries of shamanism, aloha and ascension consciousness, planetary awareness to galactic consciousness. We ask that this beautiful energy flow, not only through us, into us, above us, below, within, without, all around, and to everyone with whom we come in contact. We want to be able to share this aloha consciousness with everyone, everything, everywhere, all the time. Okay. And we ask this and we pray for this in the name of all that is holy. And that is the aloha that runs through all things all the time. Amen and a mama. Wonderful. So take this blessing, allow us to be part of your healing work for this week, and keep working on those dreams. It's a wonderful avenue to work with, and it's almost like it's an entirely different part of your persona that you may have not actually done a lot of work with. So it'll give you a chance to access and research and to learn something about this other side of you, that inner child work, and to know that you have the ability to work and to use your dreams and helping you to be a better version of who you are. Okay. Outstanding. So thank you for being here. Let me give you our ending slide, our pow. It's on 3. We'll clap our hands. We'll shout pow. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pow. Outstanding. Wonderful. That's the Hawaiian way. Okay. And so have a wonderful week. Remember to be the aloha in every moment. And we'll see you next week. And stay tuned for our new song. It'll be coming out tomorrow, high noon. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay. And it's in reference to a good country western hit. Okay. So thank you. Much aloha. And we're out of here. All right. Take care.